Hey guys, hi, very good evening to all of you and welcome to the session. This is your master teacher Harsh Priyam and I'm in front of all of you with a new topic next session, that is of quadratic equation third session. Okay, so in this topic we are going to talk about the nature of roots, precisely the nature of roots. What we have already done, so in the first session we had done the factorization method of for finding the zeros of the quadratic equation, where we even talked about the middle term splitting. In the second session we talked about the quadratic formula, that using that how we can find the zeros of the equation, where we studied that x is equals to minus b plus minus root under d upon 2a, where d used to be the discriminant of the equation, which is equals to b square minus 4ac. So based on that we had solved a lot of questions. Now that d discriminant has some other properties as well, based on which we find the nature of roots, and that we are going to talk about in today's session. Okay, chalo. So let's start our today's session. Here we go. So here, if I talk precisely about d, so please pay attention why this d is so important, why the value of d matters a lot, because I hope you all might be understanding or able to see that this d is inside the root. This discriminant is inside the root. And I hope you might be knowing that in mathematics, any value which is inside the root, if you make it negative, it becomes a big sin, isn't it? It's an absolutely no-no. Because if there is anything which is negative, which is inside the root, then it gives you not real number, like imaginary number. So there is something called as imaginary number in mathematics. We will not be talking about it right now, but there is something called as imaginary. So what you have to do, what you have to understand right now is that this is something which is not real. And if it is not real, then surely we are not going to talk about it. So one thing is very clear from here, that whatever you do does not matter. One thing you should take care is that inside the root, you should always have a positive value. Means one thing you should always take care, that the value of d should never be less than 0. Less than 0 means what? Negative, isn't it? So once d becomes negative, if d is negative, that's a big blunder, and in this situation you will get no real zeros or no real roots. Whatever you say, no real values, no real roots, no real zeros. Because d negative means you are putting something negative inside the zero, which should be avoided. Okay, so fine. So d negative is absolutely no. Then the question arises, okay, so d can be positive. I would say yeah. So d can be 0 also. Yes, d would be 0 also, and d would be negative. So in d would be negative, it would be no roots. But in d greater than 0 or equals to 0, the roots will be real. The roots will be real, but both the situations have some different thing. Let me just show you. Sorry, the slide got changed. So here, what we're gonna do is, I'm just going to tell you why they are going to be different. So just take an example. So say for example, in the last session we had seen multiple questions, yeah. So in the last session, we were talking about that there is a formula x equals to minus b plus minus root d upon 2a. Now just example, say for example, I got x is equals to value of minus b is like 2 and plus minus root d, say for example this is root 4 or say for example this is root 9. So if you write root 9, it will be coming out as 3. Fine. So here the value of d is 9, and once you put d equals to 9 here, so root 9 became 3, and thereafter you got 2 into a. Let's say for example it's 1. So here you would be getting two zeros. Yeah, which type of two zeros? You will get x equals to 2 plus root 3 divided by 2, and then you will be getting x is equals to 2 minus 3 divided by 2. So from here you got 5 by 2, and from here you got minus 1 by 2. Cool. So they are the two zeros, no problem. We have seen multiple questions based on that. Okay, fine. So d9 means d greater than 0. Greater than 0 means like positive. So here we are getting two distinct. Distinct means different. Yeah, we are getting two different, and they are real. Yeah, they are real. So two distinct and real roots. We have got it. Yeah, we have got it. Okay, that's great. Now, what is this situation? Now, say for example, You got some values of a, b and c, but somehow after calculation, after putting it into b square minus 4ac, you got it equals to 0. Somehow you got it equals to 0. So your d is, instead of being 9, it somehow became 0. So now once you put this d equals to 0 here, earlier this was 2 plus minus root something, so root 9, that was 3. But now if you have put it root 0, you will write 2 plus minus 0 divided by 2. So now for two zeros, what we used to do? We used to do plus ones, minus ones. So we will be writing 2 plus 0 divided by 2, and then we'll be writing 2 minus 0 divided by 2. Now just apply your common sense and say 2 plus 0 is 2, 2 by 2 is 1, okay? 2 minus 0 is 2, 2 by 2 is 1. So we have got 1, 1 in both the cases. Don't you think that both the zeros are same? It did not change. So whenever you will have d equals to 0, it will actually make your situation where your plus and minus, both the things, plus and minus, both the time you are just doing it 0. And adding 0 and subtracting 0 will not make a difference. Since they are not making a difference, hence you will get two equal zeros, two equal roots. Although they would be real, no doubt about it, they would be real. They are real, but they will be equal. And that is why we say d greater than 0 means roots will be real, but they would be unequal, distinct. But in case of d equals to 0, roots will be real here also, but they would be equal. Fine? And in d less than 0, obviously it's not going to be equal. So these are the bifurcations, and these are the reasons behind it, why this is such a case. Okay? So based on that, we will be solving some questions so that you can understand it better. Let's move on. Here we go. So the first question for all of you, please pay attention. Question says that find the discriminant value. So first of all, the question is pretty simple. Discriminant value d is nothing but b square minus 4ac. From this equation, I am able to see a is 2, b is minus 5 root 2, and c is 4. Cool. Now b square minus 4ac, discriminant b square, 5 root 2 whole square. So minus 5 root 2 whole square, but minus square does not make a difference. Minus 4, a is 2, c is 4. So if you calculate it, 5 square is 25, root 2 square is 2, 25 into 2, 50. Minus 4 4 is 16 into 2, 32. So you got 50 minus 32, which is equals to 18. Which is equals to 18. So discriminant got 18. Once discriminant got 18, you can find other values. But here, from here, what we can ascertain that here d is positive, greater than 0. I'm understanding that, probably you are understanding it. D positive. D greater than 0 means what? Real and unequal zeros. Real and unequal zeros. I hope you might be understanding that. Are you? Huh? Chalo. If you are understanding, that's great. Here we move on. So D is 18 and we got the answer. Okay, chalo, let's move on. Here we go. Find the discriminant value. Again, discriminant value. So very easily we can find it out. I hope you can also find it out. So discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Yup. Okay, b square. So b square, I hope now you can directly put it. B square minus 4. A value is root 3 here. And c value is minus 2 root 3. Please pay attention. C value is minus 2 root 3. Yeah. Okay, so once you solve it, 2 square 4, 4 root 2 square 2, 4 2s are 8, minus, here minus into minus will become plus, isn't it? Yeah, it is going to be plus. Root 3 into root 3 is going to be 3. 3 2s are 6, 6 4s are 24. So finally this is going to be 24. I'm again repeating, minus into minus, plus, root 3 into root 3, 3. 4 2s are 8, 8 3s are 24. So finally this much entire thing is 24 plus 24. 24 plus 8, actual value is 32. So you got d equals to 32. D is 32 means simply d is positive. If d is positive, roots are real and unequal. Fine, real and unequal zeros. Okay. Fine. Chalo. If you all understood that, let's move on. Okay, so we got it. Let's move on to the next one. So here we go for the next question. The next question talks about find the nature of the roots of the following quadratic equation. So almost the same question. You have to again find the value of d, and that value of d will actually tell you the nature of zeros, isn't it? So let's try to find it here as well. So what we have to do? We have to find d. So d is again b square minus 4ac. Now always remember, you should write this formula again and again in paper as much as time it comes, because these formula carry marks. Okay, fine. So b square is 4 root 15 whole square minus 4a. A value is 12 and c value is 5. Okay, so once you calculate this, 4 square is 16, root 15 is 15, root 15 square is 15, 15 for the 60, 64, 240. This is 240 minus 60, 60 and 4, 240. So 240 minus 240 value is 0. Yo-yo, isn't it? So here you got a value 0. Once you got d equals to 0, I guess you know what's the criteria. Here the roots will be real and equal, isn't it? Real and equal zeros. So you got real and equal zeros. Yo-yo. Question is saying only that much, so yeah, we got it. Chalo, let me show you the solution also. D equals to 0. We got real and equal 0. Okay? Chalo, fine. Let's move on. Here we go. Okay, so it's not over yet. It's not over. So those students who are liking Vedantu, who wants to learn more from Vedantu in live online classes where they can settle out their doubts as well, where they can talk to their teachers, they can be a part of a wonderful journey of learning, they can go to this link vdnt.in/ytpro. This link is given in the description box as well. You can click on that and then you can navigate to the subscription page. You can find out the exact course for you and the details would be shared there. And at the end, at the time of payment, you can actually use this coupon code HPEPRO. It will entitle you for a discount. Okay, fine. Let's move on to our subject matter. Here we go. So the next question. Next question talks about if A and B are distinct real numbers, show that the quadratic equation this has no real roots. No real roots. The question is already saying it has no real roots. You have to just show it. Means you have to actually show that d is going to be negative here. Although here the numbers are not there. You have to do everything in the variable. That's the hack. That's the catch. So d is equals to b square minus 4ac. But here I will be little more cautious because I will not write b square minus 4ac because a, b, c is already used here. So rather I should use capital B square minus 4ac. And I should precisely explain or write the value that here I am assuming capital A to be this one. I should precisely write that I am assuming 2 times A square plus B square as A, B as 2 times A plus B, and C as 1. This is what I am assuming here for this question. Now I will be putting the values, so please put along with me. So discriminant b square. B square, if I write, this is. So b square is 2 times a plus b, and this is whole squared. Then minus 4ac. So 4a is 2 times and in bracket a square plus b square, isn't it? I'm not putting c because c is 1, so it does not make a difference. Now if you calculate this, 2 whole square is 4 and a plus b whole square is a square plus b square plus 2ab, isn't it? And then minus 4 to the 8 in bracket a square plus b square. This is what it is. Yeah, cool. Okay, let me just rub it so that you guys can understand. I can write it here. Now if I solve it, please pay attention. First of all, I'm just doing it directly. 4a square, because this 4 will get multiplied here, 4a square, and here you will get minus 8a square. Are you understanding it? 4a square minus 8a square. So I'm writing discriminant, the first term you will get minus 4a square. Cool? 4a square minus 8a square. Yeah. Then you will get 4b square. 4b square, and here you will get minus 8b square. Yeah. So again you will get minus 4b square. Fine. And then you will get 4 into 2ab, that is 8ab, and this will be of plus because plus sign is here. So you will get plus 8ab. Fine. Now from these three terms, what common can you take out? I guess you can take out minus 4 common. See here, minus 4 common. Remaining will be a square plus b square minus 2ab. Isn't it? We got that. Okay. So minus 4 is as it is. Are you able to see that this is the formula? And which formula? It is nothing but a minus b whole square. A minus b whole square. Now, once you have got a minus b whole square, please pay attention. Are you understanding that this is a whole square number? A minus b whole square. And do you know what is the property of a whole square number? Any number which is a square will never ever be a negative number. It can never be a negative number. It will always be a positive number. Means you are precisely saying that this much bracket is always going to be positive. Okay, fine, I agreed to that. Because whatever be the value a minus b, I do not care. You have just squared it, and that's why it's going to be positive. And then in that positive number, you are multiplying a negative, minus 4. So if you multiply a negative number with a positive number, what is the consequence? What is the result? Result is always a negative number. Result is always a negative number. And that what you have to write here as the value of d. That after calculation we got it that this is always a positive number, and that is multiplied by minus 4 because that is what we are getting. D is equals to minus into positive. That is why always a negative number will come here. Always a negative number. And that what you have to prove here in this question. Fine. So what you proved? You proved that at end d is always going to be negative. Since d is always going to be negative, therefore it will have never a real root. It will have no real roots. And this will be a 4 marker. Let me tell you, this will be a 4 marker. So you have to prove this much. But I don't think it's that tough. It's just the understanding. Once you understand this, then it's just cakewalk. Okay? Chalo, let me just show you the solution as well. So exactly the same way. D value, b square minus 4ac, solving all of them, getting minus 4a square minus 4b square plus 8ab, taking minus 4 common, a square minus 2ab plus b square. This is a minus b whole square and minus 4. So this entire thing is a negative thing. If it is a negative thing, hence the given equation has no real roots because discriminant is negative. Fine? Chalo. Here's the next question. For what values of k the quadratic equation has real and equal roots? Real and equal roots. So here what the question says, please pay attention. Question says you have to get real and equal roots. So d should be what? Real and equal. So real and equal means d should be 0. Fine, I got it. Okay, wow, that's great. So here, but the fact is that first of all, you have to make it a quadratic equation. It's not a quadratic equation yet. So means you have to first of all multiply them. Kx into x, you'll get kx square. Kx into minus 2 root 5. So you'll get minus 2 root 5k into x and then plus 10 equals to 0. Equals to 0. Okay? We got it? Yeah, we got it. Now we got a, we got b, we got c. We have to find d and make it equals to 0. So let's do that. B square. B square is this much. Let's do it. So b square, that is minus 2 root 5 into k whole square. B square minus 4a. A is k. A is k and c. 4a c. Cool. Equals to 0. Okay, that's great. So here, if you find it, 2 square 4, 4 root 5 square 5. 4 5 is a 20k square. So here you have got 20k square. And minus 4k into 10 minus 40k. Minus 40k equals to 0. So from here what you can get? You can get 20k common. Let's get 20k common. Remaining is k and minus 2 equals to 0. So from here what you got? You got k equals to 0 or you got k equals to 2. And they will be your values. K equals to 0 or k equals to 2. But you'll have to be again smart here. If you write only this much, you'll lose marks. Why? Because you have to actually figure out that whether this k equals to 0 and k equals to 2, both the values will satisfy or not. Why am I saying that? Because if you put k equals to 0 here in this equation, just put it. This becomes 0, this becomes 0, 10 equals to 0. Will it satisfy? Obviously no. Obviously no. So k equals to 0, you have got it from here, but that would not be a right answer. So we'll write here, neglecting k equals to 0, you'll have to write neglecting k equals to 0, final value is k equals to 2 only, no other value. K equals to 2 is the final answer. And you will have to write it. Okay, otherwise you may lose marks. Cool? Chalo, let me just show you the solution as well. They have also done the same thing, 20k common, k equals to 0, k equals to 2. But for k equals to 0, we get 10 equals to 0, which is not true. Hence, 2 is the required value of k. 2 is the only required value of k. Fine? I hope you understood that. Chalo, if you understood, got it or not? Yo. Yes. Chalo, if you all understood, let's move on. Here's the next question. Now, what this next question is saying, a little complexity of the problem is increasing a little, one by one, step by step, isn't it? Chalo, please read it. Take some time. Take a pause. Take some time. Read it carefully. Try to understand it and then move ahead. Question says, find the value of p for which the quadratic equation has real and equal roots. Okay, it's kind of same. So I would just twist this question a little. Okay, just see here. So I would like to solve this question only for real. Let me just show you if this question would have been only for real, because real and equal, one type of question we had seen in the previous question, isn't it? So it's going to be more or less same, because real and equal, you will make it equals to 0 and then you will get the answer. So just to make it more little complex, I'm just solving this that has real roots. Now how will it become complex? Let me show you. Say for example, if I say real only. So I hope you might be understanding that when we were studying discriminant, d greater than 0 used to give me real and unequal, and d equals to 0 used to give me real and equal. But if the question is saying me only real, means it can be either the first one or the second one, both one. It can be true. So you have to understand this, that here if question is asking only real, you will write not this, but the combination of this. D greater than or equal to 0. What you will write? D greater than or equal to 0. Fine, written. Okay, so D greater than or equal to 0, you have written it. Okay, that's cool, pretty cool. Now what should be done? Now you have to solve it. You have to put the value of b square minus 4ac, make it greater than equal to 0, and then you have to get the answer. Let me show you how. So if I just remove it, so I will just write the value of d, which is b square minus 4ac. So this time equation is in the standard format. So this is your b. So b square, that is 7p plus 2 whole square, minus 4a, this is your a, 2p plus 1, and c, this is your c, which is 7p minus 3. 7p minus 3. Okay, chalo. If you all have understood till here, let's solve it. Yeah, we'll have to actually solve it. So 7p plus 2 whole square. So I will be writing it. I'm just opening the bracket, so please be attentive. I'm writing here 49p square plus 4928p plus 4 minus. So here what you have to do, you'll have to multiply all three of them. So I am doing it directly. If you get any problem or if you're not confident of doing it directly, please take a pen and copy. Multiply this second bracket with the third first, then multiply it with 4. I can do it directly, so I am doing it directly. Okay, but if you are not confident, do not try to copy. So 2p into 7p, 14 or 56 minus 56p square. Okay, so minus 6 and 7, so it's like minus 4p, and then plus 12. Yep, this is going to be the calculation of these three brackets, these three terms. Once you solve all of them, so first of all, what you'll get 49p square minus 56. So if I'm not wrong, this is minus 7p square. Okay, that's cool. 28p minus 4p, so this is like plus 24p here, and then 4 plus 12, that is 16. This is the value of discriminant which you have got, discriminant, and this discriminant We just now saw that this discriminant should be greater than or equal to 0. Should be greater than or equal to 0. Okay? Yeah, okay, that's great. But there is a problem. What is the problem? Problem is that actually we have got the first term as negative. And we have never solved such a quadratic equation, isn't it? So don't you think it would be much more good if I can send this entire equation to this side? Entire equation to right hand side. What will happen? Only the sign will change. As negative goes to that side, it becomes plus. So yeah, that's what we want. So if I send it to that side, everything in the LHS will become 0 greater than equals to that going to that side. So it will become 7p square plus this plus will become minus 24p, and this plus 16 will also become minus. Okay, that's cool. Now 0 is greater than this. If you are able to read it out, are you able to understand? The other way of reading it out is that this entire thing is less than 0. What is written here? Written is 0 is greater than this entire thing. So vice versa, it can be said that this entire thing is less than 0. Yeah. So I would write, or I would prefer that this entire thing, which is 7p square minus 24p and minus 16 is less than or equals to 0. Less than or equals to 0. Cool? Cool. Now, what has to be done? So it has to be solved now. So doing the middle term would be most easiest. So 16 can be broken into 4 into 4. 7 4s are 28, 24, 8 and 4. Okay, yeah, I got it. So it has to be broken into 28 and 4. Minus 28 plus 4 will give you minus 24. And that is the breaking. So I did the middle term splitting in my mind. You can take a pen and copy. So I would write 7p square minus 28p plus 4p and then minus 16 less than equals to 0. Okay. Now you have to actually solve it. Okay. Chalo, let's try solving it out. It's not such tough. It's not so tough, in fact. Okay, let's try it out. So here, if I write it down, please pay attention. Let me solve it this way only. 7p and minus 28p, if you take out common, so you can take out common 7p. What is remaining? P minus 4. If you take out from here, plus 4 common, what is remaining? P minus 4 less than equals to 0. Cool? Okay. So I'm just rubbing it out, this entire thing, so that it should not be a problem for us. Yep. Now it's looking much clean. Yeah. Okay, so P minus 4 would be very easily taken as common. So I'm writing here. P minus 4 is taken common here. And 7p plus 4. 7p plus 4. Okay, less than equals to 0. Less than equals to 0. So please pay attention over here. It's very important. Now once you have got this, P minus 4 bracket 7p plus 4 less than equals to 0. So how to solve it further? Because if this question would have been equal to 0, we would have very easily found the zeros that this is 4 and this is minus 4 by 7. We would have found that, yeah. But here it's not equals to 0, it's less than 0. Less than or equal to 0. Two things are same at the same time. Okay, fine, no issues. But we got two zeros, 4 and minus 4 by 7. What you should do, you should come on a number line and point these zeros. Just randomly. Don't take a scale and keep on pointing it. Just randomly take it. Like minus 4 by 7 will be somewhere here and 4 will be somewhere here. Obviously on the right side is the positive and the left side is the negative. Now you have to remember one thing. Please write it down somewhere in your copy. Whenever, first point, please write it down. I'm just dictating. Whenever you get a quadratic equation where you have inequality. What I said, whenever you get to solve a quadratic equation where you have inequality, first point done, then you shall draw the number line. On this number line, you shall put the zeros. So this becomes your first thing. First case is that if you get a quadratic equation in inequality, then you should make a number line and put the zeros on it. First part done. Okay, second statement or second step would be always start from the right hand side. Always start from the right hand side and start with a positive. What I said? Second step is always start from the right hand side, from right to left, and start with a positive. Start with a positive. Means what? I know you are not able to understand what I mean to say, but you just remember it. You have to learn it. You have to start from right and you have to start from positive. This is the second step. Done? Okay. Now third step. Whenever you started from right and you moved on to this part, like kind of positive, after every zero jump, this is the 0, 4, 0. After every jump of the 0, you will change the sign. What I said? Please write it down. I said after jump of every zero, whenever you jump, you have to change the sign. So plus was here. If you jump the 0, you have to change the sign. So plus will change to minus. Plus will change to minus. Then again you move on. Again you jump a 0. Minus 4 by 7 is also a 0. So if you jump again a 0, again sign will change. So negative sign will change to positive. Fine, you have written that. So what I said, I am again repeating. I said whenever you get a quadratic equation which has inequality in it, then you will draw a number line, and on that number line you will put the zeros. First step. Second step would be always start from the right hand side with a positive. Second step is always start from the right hand side with a positive. Third step is after every jump of 0, change the sign. So if it is positive, jump of 0, it becomes negative. Again, jump of 0, it becomes positive. 3 steps done. Okay, fine. Now how you have to find the solution. So you have to just remember it. Please don't get into that, sir, how, why, where, what, because now if I can make you understand, but now if I will be getting into that thing, it will take very long time for all of us, because this is entire one thing is one complete solution or one complete session. Okay, so what you have to remember is you got this plus minus plus. So what you have done, you have precisely divided this number line into 3 category. First category is plus category, second category is negative category, and this again third category, positive category. So if you speak up precisely, so I would say you have divided the entire number line into 2 segments. One is positive segment, another is negative segment. One is positive segment, another is negative segment. Now read this inequality. In this inequality, less than 0 means what? Less than 0 means plus or minus, positive or negative. What it means? Less than 0 means what? Less than 0 means negative. So this means negative is the region which is being asked from you, because this equation is asking from you negative value. So your answer is going to lie here. Your answer is going to lie here. Answer means what? Answer means what? Let me explain you this also. So answer simply means, see, if this equation would have been that this is equals to 0, this is equals to 0. So what you would have written? You would have written that, sir, P is equals to 4, and P equals to 4 means that P is that value of this equation which I will put in this equation. So this equation will become 0. I would say, yeah, very good, agreed. But say for example, someone asked me that, sir, I don't want to get a 0 value. I want to get a minus 1 value. Can you tell me any number on which I can get a minus 1 value? I would say, okay, I had not thought about it. Or he says that, sir, okay, I don't need a minus 1 value. You give me any negative value like minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, but it should be negative. I would say, okay. So he would say that obviously if I am not asking for a value, I'm asking for a type of value. I'm asking that this equation should become negative. So if I'm asking for a range of values, you should also give me answer as a range of answer. That even if you put P equals to 2, then also it will come as negative. P equals to 3, then also it will negative. P equals to 0, then also it will come as negative. Isn't it? So what is going to happen here, that P equals to 4, this is. Now you have to get negative value. So negative is this region, means if you put any value in this region, if you put any value in this region, like from -4/7 to 4, if you put any value of p any value, like you put 2, you put 1, you put 0, any value if you put from this region, it is going to make this entire equation negative. You have to just remember it. Please, if you're not able to understand it right now, it is a very long concept. So just remember this thing, one thing, that how I made you understand to make this, what you can say, number line graph, how you have to make this number line and put the zeros. This you have to remember. And second thing, if the question is asking you less than 0, you have this area as your answer. If the question would have asked you greater than 0, this would have been your answer. And how will you write that answer? So your answer should lie between -4/7 to 4. Your p, the value of p in this equation, the value of p should be between 4 to -4/7. And I would use the sign equal to, because here equal to has been used. Equal to has been used. So what I said p should be -4/7 to 4. In between this. This is the region, -4/7 to 4. In between this. Fine, you understood that? Huh? Yes? Chalo. If you understood, that's great. Although this was the toughest question. But let me tell you, for this concept to come in examination, chances are very less. Like kind of 5%, not more than that. So only 5% chances are there that this type of question will come. Otherwise, most of the chances is this, that you may get a easy question like d equals to 0, d greater than 0, like those type of questions. Not so tough. Okay, but this could be the maximum possible thing. So I just taught you. Okay, fine. Let's move on. So we won't be getting an answer for this here because this question has been solved with a different point of view. So let's leave it. Cool. So moving on. By the way, zeros are the same, 4 and -4/7. What we also got. Moving on. So yes, that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. Okay, by the way, the last question was pretty tough. I completely understand that, so no issues. What you should do, in case if you have not understood it, try to see it multiple times. Okay, just rewind it, see it multiple times, you'll understand it, I'm very sure. Fine. Kindly subscribe the channel and share it with your friends also, so that they also might understand this beautiful concept. And those who want to join live session with me and many other master teachers at Vedantu, who want to ensure their learning journey with Vedantu for a longer time, they can go to this link, vdnt.in/ytpro. This is given in the description box as well. Once you go to this link, you'll be able to see a page like this where you can select your grades, thereafter selecting your boards. Thereafter you'll be landing to this page where you have to click on get subscription. Once you click here, you will be coming to a page like this, which is called as subscription page. Here you can choose your time period or subscription model, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months. According to that, you'll get a price. Then you can enter a coupon code here, which is HPE Pro. Using this coupon code, you can get a extra discount over the discounted price. Fine. So that you can pay a little less and your journey can be more smoother. Cool. So yes, you can join this subscription session on this link with this coupon code and you are good to start. Okay, so see you all guys in the next session. Till then, bye bye, take care and good night. Bye bye.